Hello everyone, welcome back to Apps Explorer Hub channel. Now in this video, we are going to talk about Camtasia. Now what is Camtasia? Now it is simple, it is a tool or it's a software application that is used for actually media editing. So if you want to have a video, if you want to have a music, if you want to edit it, Camtasia is the best tool to do that. Now what are the features that Camtasia has? It has a lot of features that I can actually use. So want to check the sidebar. You can see first of all we have the media. Now this media allows you to import video, audio, images and use. So if you want to import video or audio or image from your computer to the software, that's where you go to. That is the media. Now with this media, you see we have import media. Now how do you do that? So click on that. And as you can see that we have the icons here. Now these are the icons that you can actually set with. So currently this is called bin. So what you see here is called the bin. So you have the media bin, and that's what you see here. So if you want to import something, you just have to click on the import media. Then you just select whatever that you want to just import. So for example, I have a folder here, and that's called project. I have this image here, or this icons, or this media here. So I can decide to highlight them all, to just click import, or I can just pick one and now I have to import it. So if you want to import image or media into this Camtasia, that is how you're going to use to import media from your computer to the software. Okay, now you're going to import now. After you are done with the features, we talk about how to actually start with editing. Now that one is the annotations. And what is the annotation? So as soon as you click on that, it tells you add text, arrows, shapes, and highlights to enhance video. So let's say if you want to have a video, and in the middle of the video you want to put across a text in it, you have to use the annotations. Now when you click on the annotations, these are the various options that you may have in annotations. So you can see we have these are the basics one style that you can actually choose. Now either you pick on this one, so you can see that we have this over there. If you want to just use this, you can still use that. You also have this that you can also use. We have this you can also use, depending on what you want to use. Now aside from this, you can see each individual you can just resize it. So you can resize them to any maximum size that you want as well. Okay, now that's the annotation. So that's if you want to display text in a video, maybe you can still add this. Now aside from that, when you go to the style, there are a lot of them here. So click on that and you can see we have the bold. When you have it bold, you have urban, user, and as you can see, these are all stuff that you can actually pick from. But as soon as you select all, you're going to get everything here that you can actually pick from these options and use. And now bear in mind that you can now resize this and you can change the text on this. Now how do you change the text? By just double click and you start typing whatever that you want to get. So double click on the text and start typing. Double click and start typing. Now if you want to resize it, as soon as you click on that, around the edges you see we have a dot over there. So put the cursor there, hold your mouse, then you can just bring it back to just shrink it, or you can just expand it as well. Now aside from this annotation, you can see there's also a list top over there, and that you can see. So here it is for text, only text, and it tells you that styles include speech and thought bubbles, arrows, and plain text. So if you want to use speech bubbles, so this is speech bubbles, this is a plain text, this is an arrow text, okay, these are the bubbles. So if you want to use any of this, you go to this this symbol here, click on that to do that. But what is of this? The next one, style include double arrows, dash or solid lines and more. So here going to get us lines. So as soon as you click on that, these are the various lines that you want to, you can actually just put on. Now there's also one. And you can see this is also an arrow, and you can still also resize this. You just turn it across 360 to any how you want it to be. Now aside from that, you can see we have a lot over there. Now when you click on the style, we've categorized them into the bold, basic, abstract, urban, user, and legacy. So you can see we have the following over there that you can actually pick anyone that you want, and you can now use it here as well. Okay. So bear in mind that any icon or any folder is here. When you just pick it, you can actually just resize it to any maximum size that you want. Now the next thing is going to be this, and that is going to be the add various shapes in videos, group or crop shapes to create new look. So what does this mean? Like we see with this, you can actually add this shape to in a video form. So if you want to have a video that looks like this, so let's actually pick and just grab in that. Now when you grab in, they're going to get this shape, and they're going to have a video they're going to play in this shape. If you want this, they're going to have a video they're going to play in this shape. Okay, so you can see now this shape, then we're going to play inside in this shape. The same thing applies to all the rest over here, and they still have it in the style. So we have legacy, the same thing as well. Now I'm going to go to all. These are the style that can actually play videos in it. Now in the later videos talk about how do you actually play videos in this shape. So if you want to have a video that looks like in a shape like this, how do you actually do that? Now this is also the next one. That's the use blur, pixelate, and we have a highlight and more to enhance media. So these are the things that I can actually use to enhance media as well. Now if you want to check the interface, you see some of them they look blur, others look faded. Now example, now with this, you can see as soon as I move back, you see what the text becomes. So it becomes blur. All this side becomes blur. Only this portion becomes active. So we're going to use this. The selected area becomes active, where the other side becomes blur as well. So that is it for that. Now let me delete this so we can have a nice screen. And the next thing that we'll talk about is this. Now this, you want to drag it across and just open it. Now this is giving you the same blur as well. So let's put in some annotations here. So go for this test. Then let's drag in text over here. Let's drag this over there. And now let's use one that we copied. So with this, you can actually add this to your, okay, so this one, that's what you pick under the here. So in this, you can also use to style that your media as well, how you want it to look like. So you can see you want to pick this, the same thing applies to that. Now you can see as soon as it gets to that place becomes blur, while the other side becomes visible. So there's the opposite of that. Now this side becomes visible while others become blur, and this becomes blur while that side becomes visible. Now if you want to look at the broken one, you can also have this, and this looks like broken one. So if you don't want people to just actually see exactly what text that you want to just display, you can actually use this as for the broken one as well. Okay, and all these are actually used in styling video as well. You can use any of these to actually work with your video file. So the next thing is this one. Now as soon as you want the mouse, that's a sketch motion. So animate that animation that draws on the screen over a period of time. So this is going to be drawn over the screen. Now as soon as you want the mouse, you see what happened. So if you want this to be drawn over the screen, that's why you use this animation, and this you see it draws on the screen. So let's clear this here, and now let's pick in one of these. So you pick in this, you put it over here. Now you can see as soon as you start to run this, you're going to just do the same thing as you can see over there. And this is our animation that's run on the screen. Now in the later video, talk about how do you actually customize this to your own style that you want it to be drawn. We'll talk about that maybe in the previous video. In the next video. Yeah. So that is it for the sketch and the motions or all these animations. So they happen as soon as you click on start to play. So let's pick an example here. Now just pick on this one, just put it here, and that's going to be the star. As soon as I click on play, let's see what you see is what it is drawing. So that is all the shapes that you see here, they are going to be drawn as soon as you click on start, and they're going to be drawn as well. Okay, so that is it for that, and that is the text animation that you see, and that's a drawn animation, and it keeps drawing the text for us. Okay, now the next thing here is this. That's the keystroke call out. Now what is this keystroke call out? It is saying that show on-screen keyboard activity on your video. So maybe if you want to actually use the screen keyboard, maybe if you want to use this, that's where you have to apply this keystroke. Okay, so that is it. Now all these are the features that this Camtasia has. and we're going to have a look on this each in the video. Okay, now let's go to the next one, that is a transition. Now what is transition? So let me clear this first. Now transition, what is transition? Now as soon as you want the mouse there, it tells you add to beginning, end, or between media to smooth what the flow. So how do you want it to look like? So now this, when you drag this over there, you see here it is not actually working unless this you drag it to the file over there, and the file that's going to make it work. So how do you want this media to actually work with that? How do you want the flow to happen? So that's the transition. Now in a later video, we talk about how do you actually do that. Now you see this is what band door. Now this is how it looks like. Now as you hover the mouse on, you see it closes. And this also use this type to also close it up. Now let's use the next one to copy this here, and let's see. So you see now, let's wait and see what individual does. So you see how this came up. Now let's see with this how this is going, and let's see this how it's also moving. So these are the various transitions that you can actually use to actually design your page or your video or your media as well. And according to this, we have the following type, the same thing. So you have the fade. If you want to just fade them, these are the things that you can use to fade. If you want to just actually move it, so this is what you can actually move. Now with this, let's see what's going to happen here. So I'm going to move that. Okay, so you see this. Now I want to see now it's being moved, right? So that's the movement. This also fold. So just folding it into two. Slide. So just moving and sliding it. And we have ripple. Slide right, spiral, and the stretch. So this is going to stretch. So these are all the transitions that I can actually set to media type. And the next thing here, we have object, we have wipe, sterilize, and we have wipe as well. Now, so these are all features that you can actually use in the Camtasia transition icon or transition banner, or let's say transition tab. So aside from that, let's go to the behaviors tab. Now with this tab, see how it looks like. So as soon as you want the mouse, it tells you how the text is going to look like. So you see, now check this. So as soon as you go, you see now it starts it fades and it starts popping out as soon as the mouse gets there. And this, it bubbles or it jangles, right? Now let's say this in a straight form, okay? And these are also, you can see we have jump and fall, we have pop up. So this jump and fall, what does it mean? If you want it to just work, you just drag it to the text, and what do we do? So this, after we're going to talk about, I'm going to have an example on each of these features. Now let's see, so you can see how it's zooming. So it is what bubbles, as you can see, it jumps and it falls, and after that, it just gets rid of. So these are the features that I can actually use in that. And according to that, there's also another tab, that's the animation tab. When you click on that, it tells you what. So here it's saying add motion effect to rotate, tilt, scale, and more. So now this, you see how it's looking like. So it's overturn the media, and this restore, and all these are the full effect that can actually apply to your media in it. So Camtasia has a lot of features that can actually work with them. Okay, and the next thing is the cursor effect. So how do you want the cursor to look like? So do you want it to look like this? Do you want it to look like that? Do you want it to look like what? Any of this? So that is where you have to choose which one that you want to use. So if it is this, then you can just pick in that. Now when you pick in that, let's see what we're going to get. So this, when you pick in this cursor, actually it's going to allow you to use the cursor in this form. Okay, the same thing applies to the cursor spotlight. So you're going to actually, you see, going to apply help you to actually use this app in this cursor in this form. The same thing applies to what you see here. Now there are a lot of this also the tab. So you have left click. So when you click left, how do you want it to look like? So when you click right to, how do you want it to look like? And so these are the features that you can actually use in your cursor, and now there's also the right as well. Okay. Now we have voice narration. And so it has a built-in speaker, a microphone that can actually just record. And so you can start recording over here, or you can just paste or type script text here, or mute speaker, just record. So you can actually record, you can actually type text that you want to display as well over there. And you have the audio effects. So these are all audio effects that I can actually add. Now this is clip speed. So if you want to just move the object in the fast mode, there's a click speed, fade out, volume level, fade in, pitch, noise or remover. So all these are the various actions that you can actually set to. Now when you're just working with the noise remover, you pick the item and just drag this onto, then just check if the noise is going to be what? Be activated in there. Now it's going to remove the noise in it, and that's applied to video or audio. So when I apply this to the video, you're going to remove the noise, and now you grab only the content that you have. Now you have visual effects. So these are all visual effects that you can actually use to style your media, your video. So you remove a color, reflection, sepia, and we have spotlight. So this is going to just get a spotlight to only the selected area that you want to just put a spotlight to. Now the rest becomes faded, or it becomes blurred. And all these are examples of the spotlight or the visual effect that can actually apply to your media. And we have interactivity. So how do you want your video? Do you want it to be interactive? Yeah, so add paste to timeline. You can add paste to the timeline, and maybe in a later video to talk about them, how actually you can use any of this. And you have the gesture effect as well. So that's double tap here, and we have what? Pinch, just pinch it. We have swipe, as we can just swipe this, and that's how we just move on with that. So all these are the features that this Camtasia had, and actually that's why it makes it, or they make it, the best media tool that you can actually have. So Camtasia is very nice, and actually you can use it in any part of the media too. Either edit, modify, or actually create your content yourself. Okay. So when it comes to the screen tool, I can decide to just zoom. So from 25 to 500%. We have what? Fit level. So this is automatically going to fit according to your screen level. Now as you can see here, let's talk about the pointer. Do you want it to be this, or you want it to be the hand? So we see now this is the hand, or you want it to be this pointer. Anyhow you want it to be, then just apply that. Okay. And this also allows you to just draw a shape over there, or to just crop. And that is it. Now the next thing is about this. Now with the properties, you can see each when you just drag in all items, as soon as you click on the item, it has the properties, and this properties whereby you can actually design it or set an advance or customize it. So each of these icons, as soon as you draw the label here, it has the various properties that you can actually set to. So each of them, if it is video, it has the video section, it has the sound section, this text, so it has the text section, and this is what the feed behavior, as you can see here, and the behavior. So it also has the behavior section that you can also set it over there. Now that is the properties, and when you check here, when you are done with the video, you click on the share, and where do you want to share? Do you want to share it on a local file? Then just click on that to actually give it a name. Now if you want to share it on YouTube, Google Drive, or any other place, then you can just select that and use. Now when it comes to this area, that is where you're going to, it has a track that you can actually just drag in your import and just start with the styling or the editing. So you have the, first of all, your import must be here. Enter the media, you can just drag it from the media to this panel or this canvas here to start with the editing. So that is it. Now when we start with the production, you're going to see how you're going to use this media here. So this is from track 1 to track 8. You can still add more to track 9 and so forth. You can still be adding more as well. And that is the controls. Okay, so you can just decide to just move to the end, or can just play forward and just rewind. Okay, now if you want to have this, so you can see we have also the view. So you have this that's the lit view, and we have the icon view. So it depends on which one that's what you want. Now you see add media from various locations for use in your video project. So when you click on this import media, you can see import media over there. Now there's more for this interaction, and that's going to be the gesture effect as well. Let's talk about. Okay, so these are the basic features that you can talk of in that. Now when you go to the top, you can see we have file. Just if you want to create a new project, save, stop recording, and a new voice narration, import, connect to mobile device, and etc. So all these are the features that this Camtasia has that can enable you to actually edit very well. And I can see when you go to the edit, we have these various features as well. Modify, it has the same thing, add animation, behavior, remove, and all that we talked about here. They are standard and modify. Now text, it has, and the views it's also the same thing. Now what I want to talk about here is, let's say how the size of the screen that you want. How you want the size of the screen to be. So right click on the screen and go to the project settings. So when you go to the project settings, it tells you now there is the dimension. This is a 720 pixels, 1280 by 720. Now you have the last one as a 1080 by that is a 1920 by 1080. And if you want to just have a video for iPhone 5, that is with this screen, iPhone 6 with the screen, 6 Plus, and etc. You actually have the preferred screen size for each of the devices that you're creating this media for. But normally, just 720 pixels, okay, or 1080. So remember that the higher the screen, the higher the size of the file to when you're done. So you take note on that. Now there's a color. So if you want to pick a color for the background, so you can just click on that. You have various colors here. You can just pick it at the background as well. Okay. So that is it for this video. So this video will talk about the basic features that you can actually see in the Camtasia. Now the next video will talk about how do you actually separate sound from a video, and how do you actually add a different sound to the video as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.